Lauri Markkanen. Now, he's not demanding a trade, but he's showing clear insatisfaction with the Bulls organization, and he's like demanding change. And personally, I think it's a great move by him to do it now. And I'm not necessarily, speaking because of the pause of the whole pause in the whole action, but with plenty of time for the Bulls to make a move towards him or away from him. As of right now, the Bulls have a 22-43 record, assuming if the season comes back. There's no playoffs in the future, and clearly they seem to be hitting the reset button on the reset, off the reset, on the reset, off the reset they recently did. This team, the Bulls team, has not been good. Markkanen, he's a good player with a high ceiling, with aspirations to play for a team that will get more than 30 wins, and he's definitely a productive player. He should be getting looks for some teams, and if not, then he should be reaching out to teams like the Houston Rockets, who play centerless basketball, and yes, centerless. Like I don't know how else to describe the fact that they do not have a center in their team. And while Lauren is not a center, he is 7 foot tall. And, they believe in taking threes, and this guy is shooting a pretty good percentage, a respectable percentage. I think it's like 36% from the 3-point line, which is not bad. It's great for a 7-footer. He can definitely fit right in. He won't have to be like the third, like a fourth option with them next to Harden, next to Westbrook, assuming they're there past this season. And you also have, Eric Gordon. I'm assuming they're not going to get rid of him. I mean, this dude, he could come in and be a spark either off the bench, or honestly, he should be starting for the Houston Rockets. Another team, to me, that could definitely use a guy like him will be the New Orleans Pelicans. Definitely could be in the market for him as well. You cannot have too many shooters around Zion, and also a potential trade, including Drew Holiday, who is the highest paid Pelicans players, and they could open up some comfortable leeway for them to be able to sign Ingram, maybe bring some veterans, and just keep Zion as the first option, keeps Ingram, and then you have Lonzo Ball, then you have Markkanen as another, just more firepower. Now, if you just listen to me, you heard me drop in Drew Holiday's name, sending him over to the Bulls, and knowing the fact that they have already Zach LaVine, they have Kobe White in the come up, Thomas Satoransky, but the Bulls have no exact directions. At what point in time, they haven't decided whether to hand the. I mean, even when Zach LaVine is there, it's like they hand him the offense, but really he's just taking it over. He's just hitting the R2 full-on sprint mode and just doing whatever he wants with the ball. And the same thing with Kobe White. The dude he has the green light, or he's acknowledging that nobody has a green light, and it's a free-for-all. And they're succeeding that type of offense, and I'm happy for them. Like Kobe White, he is a UNC guy, a UNC guard, and that I wish I had his hair. Like, we were all jealous of him. So yeah, I mean, another option or another team is always being rumored when it comes to like another free agent or just guy going into free agency is the Knicks. And the Knicks are a team that they're either already or should be trying to target some promising players. Markkanen should stay away from them. Just even if you go to the Knicks, just go for the money, because you got to get paid. You got to pay the bills. You got to make sure you build up that savings accounts, build up that 401k, that life insurance. Make sure you have your savings, man. Sometimes you got to get paid, and the Knicks are willing to pay you. Saying that's not a bad thing at all. So get paid. But my third team, or not an impossible option, will be the Blazers. If they can put up a package together to bring him in for pretty cheap without giving out, the main guys, or actually they don't really have much of anything in the concept of it, but this trade will actually make everybody happy. McKinnon will be a pretty good fit having Lillard McCollum, and he'll also fill out that score need that the Blazers need. Now, yeah, you might be saying, oh, well, they got Melo and they got Afani Simmons. He's about the only guy that the Blazers are looking to keep. And we still don't know how Nurkic is going to come back in from injury. The dude is missing, like a year and a half now. And we really don't know how he's going to come back into it, how much time he's going to need. In theory, he could be, who knows, right? As of right now, he could be in a mansion somewhere just working his ass off when it comes to building his cardio, building his basketball shape back up. Markkanen could be the second coming up for Dirk Nowitzki. He is 7 foot tall, but he's not a unicorn. So now, on the Bulls defense, there was no way that they could have planned for so many injuries to their players. They had a bunch of young guys and Otto Porter Jr., who kind of a steal for the team, and he plays a really good role. Not a cornerstone, but he's a great player. But they could not have predicted this, like how downhill it went for them. And it's pretty sad to see what could have been a good team with plenty of potential go down due to the injury bug. In theory, they could even argue that while the potential Markkanen is great, he hasn't proven to be a cornerstone to the team. He's a project, but not a cornerstone. He still hasn't played a full season. A 7-foot player shooting threes is pretty appealing, but his percentages are actually decreasing. All of his percentages are decreasing. The early samples of his career may be too good to be true, and now that he's been in the league for a couple of years now that teams know what he has and what he can do, they're just kind of taking advantage and they're prepping for him. And he's not keeping up with the pace, or maybe he's not 100% healthy, and maybe that could also be a factor into it. But the biggest thing that stands out to me is the simple fact that we are talking about a 7-footer only averaging 6.3 rebounds per game and only 0.5 blocks. To me, that's not appealing at all. I mean, at the 7 foot, you're playing the power forward position. You're either getting bullied down, or you're not going to be doing very much for like a team that needs a center, rim protector. I'm happy that you can shoot threes, but as of right now, your offensive side is not outweighing what your defense is lacking. So in theory, Markkanen could be asking for a change or an improvement from the Bulls, but at the same time, they could be asking the same thing from him, and they're not getting the results that they want. Now, if him and the Bulls can actually patch things up and show up and ball out, but the Bulls don't win 30 wins, don't get 30 wins next season, or even by the end of this season, the Bulls end up trading him anyway, and Markkanen may feel that he wastes another good year, making him more disgruntled and possibly even be seen as more of a distraction if he's not able to keep his composure during his time with the Bulls. Whether it's whatever's left of this season or whether coming back into it next season, he has to make sure that he does not be looked at as if he was going to be a cancer for other teams. Personally, I think they should part away. The Bulls are in a full rebuild mode, and nobody knows really what's going on there. If you guys have an opinion, or if you guys want to let me know how you guys feel about the Bulls, leave a comment on Nonsense Sports on Facebook, YouTube, or reach out to me on Twitter. Like I said, Francis Talks and Assess. And tell me what you guys think about the whole Bulls and the Markkanen situation, the Bulls and the Markkanen situations. Moving